So Klay Thompson, no longer a splash brother. He has agreed to a not one, not two, how about three-year contract. Klay Thompson goes to Golden State, goes from Golden State, outbound, 3-year contract, $50 million, and he will take his talents deep in the heart of Texas to join the Mavericks, the team that gagged in the NBA Finals, embarrassed themselves. Kyrie Irving disappeared. We all loved that. That was great. So that ends a 13-year run for Klay Thompson in Northern California. Now, Klay Thompson's camp want you to know that he did the noble thing, that he turned down more money to go play with Luka because he wants to win. He's a winner. And Klay Thompson wants to win that 5th title to stick it to Draymond Green. More on that in a minute. The transaction is not your straight-up free agent signing. We are told it is more of a sign-and-trade situation. The Charlotte basketball team was dragged into this. The Mavericks dumping Josh Green. We're told that's a guard to the Hornets. And they also ended up in the deal. Golden State got 2 second-round picks. You can pick your nose with those two. All right, so let us discuss the question. Klay Thompson headed to the Mavericks. How do you react to Klay Thompson going from Golden State to Dallas? So I've got jukebox, French, and Swiss Army knife. And we will combine all of these things together, and I will point my finger at you. Because if you point your finger at someone, you've got 4 fingers pointing back at you. All right, so this Klay Thompson contract is a sucker's paradise, is what it is. Let's not pretend that this guy has anything left. He is D-O-N-E. Done. All right? Dallas, congratulations. You have fallen for the Booby prize. And we see this all the time in free agency, where a player changes teams and a lot of low-information fans and unknowledgeable media hacks get all excited. They get all tingly because of the accomplishments, the past accolades of a player. But that player has very little left, and that's Klay Thompson. Now, could Klay Thompson, rare and appropriate, have a nice game? Sure. But can you depend on him? No. Mark Cuban, who somehow is still in charge of basketball ops, even though he sold the majority interest in the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban, he's calling the shots. This is a swing and a miss. This is a swing and a miss. Now, we imagine the Mavericks in the team headquarters there, somewhere in the Dallas Metroplex there. They had the jukebox playing Mr. C, a classic song from Mr. C back in the 1950s. Perry Como's Catch a Falling Star, because that is exactly what the Mavericks have done. Congratulations, you're stupid. What are you doing, right? Never let it fade away. Well, Klay Thompson's faded away, right? Save it for a rainy day. Maybe he'll play well once in a while on a rainy day. But you open up your pocket, and that song, one of the lyrics in the song was, it's a pocket full of starlight. But Klay Thompson, it's time to take him out of the oven. He's cooked at this point. Dallas paid a premium for what he had been, Klay Thompson, with the Warriors there. A player at this point in the story is rapidly declining. His physical abilities have gone down. Klay Thompson will turn 35, which is old in sports, not in real life, but in sports that's old. And the injuries have robbed him of his superpower. So, well, he can still shoot. Okay. But you don't pay big money for just that. There's other things involved, and Klay Thompson cannot get to the rim anymore. And in his salad days in Golden State, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I don't think I am. People remember all the three-point shots. But from time to time, and more often than you remember, Klay Thompson would do a head fake, pretend to shoot a three-point shot, and then zoom past a would-be defender who was overcompensating because of his ability to shoot the three-point shot and go to the basket and either lay it up or hit a dunk. And Klay Thompson, last season, in over 2,000 minutes, 2,284 minutes, you know how many dunks he had last season for the Warriors? Two more than you. 2 more than me. Now, pre-injury, Klay Thompson had that part of his game. He doesn't have it. And he's not going to find it all of a sudden unless he goes to a really special pharmacy somewhere in Texas. Now, page 2 here. Why did Klay Thompson take less money? I say that in air quotes, less money to go to Dallas. The popular opinion by popular people is that the reason Klay Thompson did this is because he is the star that wants to win. And he's willing to sacrifice, to take less, to help the greater good of the team. That's what the posse of Klay Thompson wants you to know. The noble star sacrificing. That's the narrative that's being spread. Embrace the folklore. And to that I say, excuse my French, bullpucky. That's bullpucky is what it is. As our friend Jay Scoop, who occasionally listens live on the iHeart app in Ukraine, would say. But when you crunch the numbers, people have brought up the fact, well, he took less money. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. And my instinct is nobody takes less money. They don't. They might take the same money, but they don't take less money. And when you crunch the numbers on taxation in the People's Republic of California, and they just tax you right up the wazoo in California, they're a little more freeing of taxation. They still have taxes in Texas, but not the same. If you live there, you know. But Klay Thompson is gaining extra money, assuming the offer was exactly the same. And I don't believe it was more from somebody else, assuming the offer was the same. So he had the same offer from multiple teams, and 2 of them were in California, and 1 of them was in Texas. From what I read, if I read this properly, Klay Thompson will save about 12% of his money, but when you do the arithmetic and you crunch the numbers and you move the decimal points around, because he's not paying California state taxes, that's 6 million extra shekels out of the 50 million that if he lived in California to play the same job, he would have to give up. But because he does the same job in Texas, he does not have to give up that money. Now, that's nothing to sneeze at. Clay's made a lot of money. He's made bunch of money, millions and millions of dollars over the years, but hey, you want to keep every single dollar so you can buy another boat and go out and be the boat captain. All right, now, our last word here. On his way out of the Bay Area, we are now reading reports of a rift that had never been talked about before inside the walls of the Warriors locker room. Klay Thompson was said to be, among other adjectives, exhausting behind the scenes, said to be sulking, it's another report, and uncomfortable also. Presence in the locker room, all of those terms, buzz terms tossed around, a passive-aggressive Draymond Green, if you will. While Draymond would just pop you in the junk or punch you in the face, Klay Thompson would sulk. That was what he did. So how do you process the report as Klay Thompson is going wheels up from the airport and heading to Texas? How do you process the report that Klay Thompson had created turbulence with the Golden State basketball team? So this is something that you normally get in baseball. I remember years ago talking to some of my media friends in Boston, and they explained to me when a popular player on the Red Sox would go to a different team, they had to bury the player and sully the player's name. It's usually what you do in baseball. And they do it a lot in Boston. There's other cities, New York, they do it, Philadelphia, places like that. It's become more of the mainstream, normal situation when players change teams these days, who are somewhat popular. And Klay Thompson was certainly popular with the Warriors, but this is a trip to the Swiss Army knife shop is what it is. Right? This is what's known as a hatchet job. And we are in chapter number 10 of the Idiot's Guide to Popular Athletes Departing book. And if you look at that book, you run the smear campaign against the players. We had to get rid of the player. See, to me, I don't need all that. I don't mind it as a talk show host. I'm fine with it as a talk show host. It makes for good conversation. God bless you. But my position is like, I can't play. The other stuff's like, okay, so you had issues. Let me let you in on a little secret. There is not a single locker room in all of professional sports that does not have cliques. The Boston Celtics just won the championship. I will guarantee you There are players in that locker room that don't like other players. They're jealous of the attention certain guys are getting, just like in the NFL. Kansas City's won back-to-back Super Bowls, and I will promise you, I will bet all of my money, all $5 I have in my pocket right now, I will bet you that there are factions in Kansas City that think Andy Reid gives special treatment to certain players and is bullcrap, and it's not fair, and it happens everywhere. But when you win, it covers it up. It's like nice deodorant or soap. It covers up the smell.